a gorgeous evening here at Salisbury High School, the generous hosts of Allentown Central Catholic this 2024 season as they host the Parkland Trojans for an EPC battle here tonight. Hello, everyone. I'm Gwen Begley, joined by Doug Heater. Parkland and Allentown Central Catholic. This goes way back. They're two of the teams that are always in the upper echelon of District 11 lacrosse. Doug, this could be a good litmus test for what we can expect from these teams later on in the season.
Yeah, I think it's a big tester for both teams. Obviously, they're not in the same classification in districts, so they won't see each other in district playoffs. But I think both of these teams obviously want to get that district championship, but they want to get in the EPCs as well. Very early in the season yet, but obviously an early league statement for both of these teams.
Yeah, Parkland has been really good early on this season. They're 6-3 overall. They're undefeated in the EPC. Their head coach is Vince Orezi. He is in his second season, and he's done wonderful things with this program, and he has quite the team on his hands, including junior Parker Cusco.
Well, he leads the team with 40 goals, so that says enough. But the deal about Cusco is he's very dangerous. He can score from outside, but extremely dangerous when down by the goal. And obviously this team has other offensive weapons, but they've been able to find him. He's scored 46% of his shots this season. Pretty good percentage leading in, and he'll be one of many, but maybe the main weapon that Central Catholic's going to look to shut down tonight.
He had his 100th career goal over the weekend in a loss. Now moving on to Central Catholic. They're 5-3. They just beat Northwestern last night 20-6, and they got huge production from another junior in Michael Restino.
26 goals on the season, second on the team with 35 points. He's scored at least one goal in each game this season except one. It happened to be a loss against Emmaus. Now he is a little bit more dangerous from the outside. He's playing with his brother this season, so the two of them are a 1-2 combination, and along with Luke Shimko, this is a very dangerous attack, but there's other guys other than Michael Restino, but expect him to be one of the guys that scores tonight and probably scores multiple goals.
Will Parkland remain undefeated in the East Penn Conference, or will Allentown Central Catholic hand them their first loss? Find out next here live on the Service Electric Network. Welcome you back to Salisbury High School for this EPC showdown between the Parkland Trojans and your host, the Central Catholic Vikings. I'm Gwen Begley, joined by Doug Heater for this evening's contest, one that should be exciting between these two teams. Central Catholic coming off a huge victory last night here in this very same field, 20-6 over Northwestern Lehigh. That a massive revenge game, Doug, for Allentown Central Catholic after losing to them in the district final a year ago.
Yeah, you can kind of tell by the score, right, that they obviously wanted to light those guys up. And, Will Odenthal, here he is, the head coach for Central, was telling us that, that was, just score-wise you can see it, but that was their most complete game of the year. And he said we played 4 full quarters, and he hopes that you could tell kind of be a turning point, because that's what they're looking for: consistency, maturity. And as he stated, you would think they'd be getting up for these guys as well. Kind of what we talked about in the open. Obviously, they're not in the same classification in districts, but this team Central didn't play in the EPCs. You only take 4, and if it was me, I'd want to have some games against those other teams, because they established themselves as the best team in District 11 2A with that hammering last night.
They sure did, and they had this same starting lineup. So let's take a look at our starting lineups for both squads. We're going to start on the right-hand side of your screen with Allentown Central Catholic on attack. Liam Farrell, Restino, and Luke Shimko there in the midfield. Restino, McCarthy, and Tate Shoemaker. He was taking the majority of the faceoffs last night, and he did pretty well in that category, if I do say so myself. On defense, Peters, Foley, and Lysad, and in between the pipes, it is Chris Burke. He had over 10 saves last night. And for Parkland, Doug, we mentioned him in the open, Parker Cusco there at attack.
Yeah, and Tapia and Garancher are going to be two key guys, two younger guys on this team that'll help him out. And obviously, you look at Scott, face-off guy who's got great ability to not only create face-offs but create offense. And then defensively is going to be interesting. Schaefer and Leaks are young guys, are sophomores. Now, Kumarnitsky, immediately becomes my favorite guy on the roster because he's a
Wonder why.
football guy and he played guard too, which I love. But they've got real tough physical defenders, and Cusco's not the only guy that can score. But on Central side of things, I think Shimko, Rustino, and even Farrell. I mean, those are guys, not even, but those guys are offensive weapons. When you look at these two teams, statistically and numbers-wise and experience, you're looking at potentially two of the better teams, two of the best teams in the district overall.
Yeah, I would expect these two to be vying for a district title later on in the season. Central Catholic has been in 10 district final games. We mentioned earlier falling to Northwestern Lehigh a year ago. The Tigers winning their first ever district championship. So they conceded one. I'm sure they'll be right back poised to get another one this season as we are getting ready for our first face-off. James Scott getting the start there at the dot. He is facing off around 61%, has won 66 of 109 at the X. And it looks like it'll be Tate Shoemaker, the matchup here to start this one. Shoemaker, he's around 53% there at the midfield, 18 for 34. Last night, he was winning a lot of face-offs in the second half, even took one to the house to find James McCarthy. They're so good in transition off this face-off, so we'll see how Parkland deals with that, and they do it easily. Scott off to the races. He shoots, bounces, that one goes behind. Cusco passes back.
Hey, alert 3-3! Alert 3-3!
Well,
I did not miss Parkland's numbers being less than visible here.
Yeah, I'm letting you go on that one because they're notorious for it. But,
Yep.
One of the things that Vince Arezzi was talking about, the Parkland coach, is how they were going to play defensively to start. And you're seeing Central come out in a man defense. And that was one of the things we were wondering with Cusco, number 8, who is kind of, working around. They'll have to keep an eye on him and see how, if they adjust to that or continue to play on this man-to-man for at least his first possession.
That's a shot, and that is a score from Jake Beidelman, the senior defenseman. He has 13 on the season, make it 14.
So man-to-man, and you'll see what Beidelman's able to do. He's got a great shot from outside. These guys have great velocity, but he basically comes off a screen with a switch or a slide at the lacrosse level, and it's a little bit late. He's going to change possession coming across.
Hey, talk.
The pass will come up, and then Beidelman will just kind of sneak off. So he's defended here. Here comes the switch. It's late. He's got an opening, and he's able to fire it in for a goal. Beidelman, those guys, the attack, Cusco, they have lightning-quick shots, and there's an example of it.
They have lightning-quick guys at the midfield, too. Scott winning another face-off. They're coming away with another attacking position. Now, Central, one thing they've struggled with all season long is getting off to fast starts. They find themselves from behind, and it takes a lot more energy to play from behind than it does to play ahead. But last night, they got up on Northwestern Lehigh, 4 goals in that opening quarter. So they liked to see that. They were hoping to see that today. It is only 1-0, so still got a chance to change the tides here. There's that defense from Central. Jack Foley came away with it as they try and battle to get it back. Possession White.
Yeah, Foley, a nice job getting that turnover. Here we go the other way.
Shoemaker had space for a second, not too long. The crash from Parkland's defense. They've been relentless this season. I think a game that really stands out is their win over Freedom, 11-3. Holding such a potent Patriots attack to just 3 goals is not an easy thing to do. Shoemaker sends it inside, pass disconnected. Parkland coming away with it.
He was looking for Michael Rustino, who kind of snuck down the middle there and got a nice opening. Looked like he was going to try to go over the shoulder with it, but Parkland got it cleared, and here they go the other direction.
Great turnover. I believe that was Michael Rustino.
Yep.
Central with another opportunity here. Shot from Shimko goes wide. Shimko is such a strong presence there. One of the only seniors in this starting lineup. They've got a young team mirrored in youth by Parkland as well. Jack Rustino moves to the top to find his brother Michael, who shoots and scores. Point blank from the top, it is Michael Rustino.
I mean, that's, again, that's how dangerous he can be. There's a great example right out of the gate, because you got Drew Schaefer, 33, the big body defender. He's with him. He's in good position. Look at him poking stick. He's got the body in front, but just that little bit of space that Rustino needs, shooting from that right side, and he's able to tie the game at 1.
Rustino voted by his teammates as a captain on this team. Now, he's just a junior, but has really settled into that leadership role for the Vikings. And probably because he's been starting since he was a freshman. I remember seeing him come onto the scene, extremely impressed with him during his first year at the varsity level, and he's only improved since then. Rustino, that was his 27th goal of this season. Another shot that's stopped by Metalevicius. Crease violation sends it back to Parkland.
Well, there's the Trojans, yeah, they keep it in bounds. That was a near turnover. That would have been a big mistake. Now it gets them a chance to get things set up on their side. And Vince Arezzi was telling us that they kind of want to play a 6-on-6 game. Transition will come, but right now it's more about setting things up. And you saw the quick pass to midfield and then getting it over and now setting up this offense for the third possession.
Jake Parker looking like he wants a shot, trying to split those defenders, sends it inside, that ricochets, the rebound. That goes to Danny Tapia, the sophomore attack, with his 15th goal of the season.
Some congestion in front. Had a couple of crossers trying to get in the way of Chris Burke to divert the vision, and then another shot. Again, lightning shot coming from the outside. Ground ball's picked up, no hesitation. And a nice open lane to the goal. And the Trojans have made good on 2 of the 3 possessions they've had in their offensive zone.
Sorry, it looks like that one went to Tyler Smith, number 6. Again, pretty hard to see these numbers. We've had problems with Parkland. We've wanted them to change their jerseys. I mean, they're lovely jerseys. We just can't see them very well from a distance. So we'll try our best here. But Parkland trying to settle into their attack once more. They've got Parker and Smith at the top here. Beidelman with it now near side. Beidelman looking to shoot. Bounces. Gets a piece of Burke, but Parkland retains possession. Parker at the top loses it. Parker wanting a shot, he takes it. Burke makes the save.
Well, they kind of cleared out the middle for Parker, whether he was going to attack, and then maybe if someone slid over and doubled, he would dish it off, but he got another ground ball. Yeah, big save by Burke to get that stop.
On the move, a disconnected pass from Michael Rustino to Quinn Driscoll. Quinn Driscoll got in on the scoring action last night. Actually, 9 players on this Central team were able to get a goal or an assist in that win over Northwestern Lehigh. Rustino getting pushed out. Jack Rustino working his way around. Rustino barrels in, nearly loses it, cradles and shoots. What an incredible goal from Michael Rustino, his 2nd in the game.
He beat his defender, and then even John Garancher, 26, got the long stick on him and tried to knock it free, but he's able to clear. He took one on the arm. I mean, that's A great shot from the outside for his first goal, but an even better one as he attacks. So he's the dodger, and you saw the contact, no big deal. He's going to slide all the way across. At that point, you almost think that he's going to continue on and reset. Instead, he kind of shoots it across his body for goal number 2.
That goal will go unassisted for Rustino. We are knotted up at 2 apiece. You got to be happy if you're Odenthal with the start you're seeing from Allentown Central Catholic. And I love that you mentioned a little bit, but he said these guys shouldn't be getting up for the game. They should already be up for the game. You shouldn't have to get up. But when it's against a team like Parkland, these guys just play harder.
Well, right. I mean, this is, them, Easton. I mean, those are the 2 teams that have kind of started it all as being those. They were great from the beginning, and you should have no issue gearing up for a game like this, especially coming off a big effort yesterday.
Parkland coming off a loss to Penridge. Their only losses at the hands of non-District 11 opponents as we got another score, and it is once again Tyler Smith.
Yeah, kind of wondering if the sun is a little bit of a problem here on this one. It looked like that one got on Burke a little bit quick. I mean, he went top shelf, and Burke tried to net that one up over the left shoulder. I mean, this is a really great shot from Smith because he's going to get behind the defender and unload overhand, but it just gets up on Burke, and I have a feeling that he's looking right into that sun. I think that might be a little bit of a problem for both of these teams so far.
And what we're seeing now is something that Coach Arezzi actually mentioned to us, is that if you take away guys like Parker Cusco, you got other guys like Tyler Smith, who already has 2 goals in this game. He came in with 4 on the entire season. Battle for the ground ball. Central nearly coming away with it. And it's Parkland coming out of the woods. Eric Matalevichus coming away with it. The pole as Parkland settles into their offense. Shoot bounces wide. John Garancher moving from X. See if he passes over the top. Smith with it, back up top to Beidelman. Now notice Cusco inside. Cusco stopped by Burke. Chris Burke, a much improved player in between the pipes, gained a lot of confidence last season, even more so this year.
Yeah, really nice job of sliding over, anticipating that Cusco shot.
Whoops. Could call a timeout, just a little bit of slippage there from Liam Farrell. So we're 3-2 game here. Parkland on top. It seems to be kind of back and forth here so far, and faceoffs not dominated by one in particular. So I'm pretty happy with how even this game is. I didn't want our first lacrosse broadcast to be any type of blowout situation, and I really did not expect that from either of these teams, the way that they've been playing this year already. You
kind of had an idea just by looking at the numbers, number one, and looking at some of the games that the teams have played beforehand. Because of, neither team has a dominant face-off guy. I'm talking about 75% or above. And you knew that they were both good enough in their 6-on-6 game that they're going to have scores, and multiple scores at that. Now, as we get deeper into this game, that means each possession obviously is going to become more and more important. A shot that you're going to take, if it's going to be early on in a possession, you got to make sure that your guy is able to get beyond the goal to make sure that possession stays where you can get your guys on. This is going to be interesting. But I think the biggest thing right now, too, is going to be the challenge that Parkland's going to have to try to figure out a way to shut down Rustino and just what he does, whether he's moving without the ball, whether he's attacking and then staying with him. I mean, that's going to be the biggest challenge. 5 goals and a couple assists for Rustino last night. Tate Shoemaker and McCarthy contributed 4 goals apiece in the onslaught that it was from the very start of last night's contest. We talk about Parkland stars. You see Coach Arezzi there. He in his 2nd season.
I want to give him a shout out. He has a media kit for us, which is impeccable. It's amazing. We love that. He cares about the kids. He wants them to be recognized for the talent and what they're doing on the field here, and he's doing a great job of that as Allentown Central Catholic is on the attack, looking to even this up once again at 3 apiece. Shimko behind. Jack Restino at the top. Flag goes up. So free possession for the Vikings. Restino slices through 2. That one goes wide, so the penalty will now be enacted. It should be a 30-second. This will be 1 minute.
It's Finnegan that got called for it.
Yeah, I just went above the shoulders there in the push. A little bit too high. But Central Catholic will have a chance now to make the most of this man-up possession. Restino at the top. Got McCarthy, number 6, near side. He switches to the top. Inside from Shimko, crashed on Liam Farrell, and they strip the ball back. Metalevicius goes a little bit too deep, throwing away the opportunity. So Central still with another chance. They've got some time left in this penalty. Shoemaker, Shimko, McCarthy at X. Connects with Restino, who shoots top shelf, and he scores. Michael Restino with the early hat trick.
Now, I thought Metalevicius was in good position because look at where Restino is. He's got the closed corner shut down and just goes up and over. I mean, he anticipated that that's going to go up, waits for the shot. It's just that fast, and he's shooting it above the body. I mean, not over his shoulder, not over the, not off the ground, and just up over. Tremendous goal. Each one of them seems to get better and better.
Yeah. Yeah, I did expect some showy goals tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much talent between their attacking and midfield that we should maybe see it behind the back goal, get some fancy ones. Why not?
I think he was lining up for one earlier and it got knocked away.
He likes to do those. But another face-off win for Allentown Central Catholic here. They had Mason Sesenek. He's 61%, winning 44 of 72 coming into this game. So they have 2 really strong guys at the face-off X. Shoemaker, no one there. Shimko inside. Unable to connect that pass to Tommy McGorry. Parkland with speed along the sideline, loses it. Central with some good defense here.
That was Komarnitsky, the defender, that tried to bring that all the way out.
Wonder if the Vikings will be patient. Short time, just a little bit over a minute left to play in this first quarter. Shimko takes a shot. Parkland ball.
Schaefer was closer to the back line. He was able to get possession. Trojans have to make this one count now.
Blake Finnegan hounded by 2 defenders, trying to get out, 2 attackmen rather, trying to get out of that one. He does. Jake Parker on the move. He shoots. That one goes wide. Central able to hang on. See if they can get it quickly down. 40 seconds left to play in the first. barreling through 3, crashed in. Shoemaker denied. And they're going to make it difficult for Parkland to get it down to the other end. Cristino following closely. 10 seconds, see if they can get one final shot. Working around, falling to the ground. That one stopped by Burke. Parker Cusco denied on the shot, as that'll do it for the first quarter. We are all tied up at 3 apiece between the Parkland Trojans and the Allentown Central Catholic Vikings. Second quarter action coming your way after this, live on the Service Electric Network. Welcome you back to Salisbury High School, getting set for the start of the second quarter here after a thrilling first quarter. We're all evened up at 3 apiece, but Allentown Central Catholic, they wanted a fast start, and they got it from one Michael Rustino. He owns all 3 of the Vikings goals here in the early goings. You see Odenthal. That's what he wanted from this team, a fast start. He said that the biggest difference coming into this season was just maturity.
Well, he's concerned about 2 of the games where they fell behind and battled back, but just ran out of gas. So right now he has to be very, very pleased with the start that they've got. Obviously the energy from last night carried over, and now you're in this game. And what's interesting is we're taking a look at a guy that scored all 3 goals. Now the simple comment is you got to shut him down. If you're the Trojans tonight, right at this point, no one else but him can score, because stopping him, I don't know what you're going to do defensively. So in other words, now he wasn't in the possession prior to the very last one. So you got to make sure that you figure out a way to contain Michael Rustino, and don't let anybody else hurt you.
Yeah, he is so quick, and he makes those speedy decisions. He just says such good lacrosse IQ. It's been on a fast track to improvement here with the Vikings. Shimko nearly losing it there behind the goal.
Now, Shimko is second in goals with 21. I mean, they've contained him from behind the goal, so he hasn't really wreaked havoc from behind there as far as setting up anything in front, as of now, that is.
Yeah, Shimko leads the team in points, number 41 with 41 points. Rustino with a quick feed inside, quick stick by James McCarthy. They did the exact same thing last night, and it works again here tonight.
Now there it is. He's going to attack the goal, and it looks like it's a shot. You see 6 coming in from the backside, right behind the goal. Nobody sees him, right in front, and there it is. Beautiful play.
Beautiful. Doesn't even need a cradle. We love a quick stick goal, and James McCarthy is a pro at them. Those two, such a good combination. I mean, they've been playing together for a while, and since their freshman year. Remember my first interview with James McCarthy after the EPC championship. Scored a couple goals in that one as a freshman, and look at him now.
And that's the kind of play, too, that you come out of a quarter with, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, all right, we're going to run that one, we're going to sneak him by. And nobody, because you haven't seen that type of movement yet offensively, so you sneak him behind the goal. But it also gives you an example of how dangerous this team can be offensively. When we talked about shutting down 22, and then he sneaks in and looks like he's going to shoot and passes it off to a teammate.
Yeah. The one thing that I think both these teams will have to be is creative.
Yeah. Well,
with 2 incredible defenses, I mean, you got to find different ways to score, and that definitely caught Andrew Metalevich off guard.
Yeah, and you're always concerned about Rustino's ability to dodge and attack the goal. That hasn't necessarily been an issue yet tonight. Now, the big deal for the Trojans, too, is if this is going to be about 50-50 on faceoffs, they've got to win a few to get themselves back in it, because they've been pretty efficient on offensive possessions. They haven't had too many of them.
Looks like that was Ethan Leaks causing some trouble there on the wing. defensively for the Trojans.
Yeah, that's 13. He's been really good matching up. Here's a chance for Parkland.
Yeah, that feed inside broken up. So Parkland with some speed here. They'll look to steal that momentum back. This is the first lead of the game for Allentown Central Catholic, up 4-3 here in the second quarter. It's got Tyler Smith coming in. Beidelman with the shot, he scores. He goes high on Chris Burke, and we are tied up again at 4.
Well, Dylan Lysted, 33, defensively comes over. Beidelman with 2 goals now, and he said if Rustino can make it look good, I'm going to beat my defender. And then Lysted comes out, and he goes top 2. Now, sun shouldn't be a problem. You see that we're in the shadows, and we're getting close. The lights are coming on. But Beidelman's been very dangerous twice now from outside, just getting a little bit of an opening. So defense lays off a little bit, not tight on him, and then he's still able to beat his defender.
Beidelman with his 15th goal of the season, second of the game, as Doug mentioned, is battling for the faceoff here. Rustino, the quickness at the midfield. Flags are flying, but it'll be on Parkland. So Central trying to keep this ball. And they'll blow the whistle. They'll enact the penalty here. It's their second man-up opportunity of the game.
It's going to be coming across the right here on the forearm. Very similar penalty what we saw. Well, we saw the cross check basically before. You know, Beidelman too, another football guy that can play physically from down low. So let's see if Central can take advantage.
Luke Shimko with the ball there on the left side of your screen. Jack Rustino to Shoemaker. Behind that's Rustino, got to watch out for him. You also got to watch out for Jack Rustino, who shoots and is stopped by Metalevicius. Let's see if that can trickle into offensive production here. A hard shot from Blake Finnegan is stopped by Burke.
Both goalies on each end. I don't know if that got some of the pipe on Parkland's end, if that helped him out also, but big transition, kills off a little bit of the time.
Metalevicius makes the stop. Can't say enough good things about the junior goalie. He came into this game saving around 59%. He just gets better and better every year, even though he has a different defensive unit in front of him this season. That one an easy save for Chris Burke. Not a lot of speed as it hits the carpet before it gets into his pocket. He's got some company.
Yeah, and so Central was doing this a lot. We're having a hard time, giving Parkland a hard time getting out of their own end. Trojans doing the same thing. You know, Rob Gertis came in 77, a little bit of time offensively.
Yeah, Trojans successful on the ride as they continue to hammer at the Vikings, who will call a timeout and try and figure out what they want to do with this possession. But great ride by the Trojans. Odenthal, no stranger to the game. He coached under the legendary Dan Dolphin, which I do want to say for a moment just how incredible Dan Dolphin was, passing away unfortunately and untimely last week. Shocked the lacrosse world. Shocked me, actually. I was pretty upset about it. Such a good coach, such a good guy, such a good champion for the sport of lacrosse. And I know the Allentown Central Catholic community and even Parkland, I mean, every single team has been touched by what Dan Dolphin has done for this sport.
I had a chance to, I interviewed him multiple times after games before it was official, before the sport was official. And again, this is a program, Southern Lehigh, back in the day. Matt Daniel was the head coach. They were the ones growing the sport. And then, Dan stayed, Bachman stayed.
Yep.
I mean, Parkland always had the good coaches. Brad Shifko, I believe, was one of them that was part of that. So, he was great. And I know they beat Moravian in a really close game. I remember interviewing. I was running camera. He's a little bit bigger than me, a little taller.
You were
than
running
me.
camera.
That was back a while ago. I was running it, and
wow.
I was like, oh, man, everybody's taller than I am. But anyhow, Dan was such a great guy. And then we started doing the games, and the information always came. But, that was that was tough for everybody.
Yeah.
One of my friends, Steve Tone, is an official in District 11 for lacrosse. I believe is the assigner, actually. And, Steve, I'm sorry if I got that wrong. But he's the one that told me, and he told me that the officials loved him. I mean, it was...
everyone. I mean, you can't really find someone that's going to say a bad word about Dan Dolphin. He retired in 2021 after Central became the only team in the Lehigh Valley to win a PIAA championship. So he retired from both coaching and teaching. He led all Lehigh Valley coaches with 201 victories until Brad Bachman won his 201st game and continues to win. So he took that title over. He's another one that has learned from the great Dan Dolphin. Our condolences with his family and everyone who has worked with him. We are back in action here. Allentown Central Catholic looking to make the most of this opportunity here. Jack Restino going to X. Looking for a cutter up front. Nothing's there for McCarthy, so he'll take it on his own. Crease roll and score. James McCarthy.
Yeah, they're saying it's good. Yeah, that was interesting how Central crashed the net with a couple of players. And they came down and he sees nothing, so they step out. Look at this, around the goal, stays outside the crease, so he's legal.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful goal by Central Catholic. Another one.
Great awareness, yep. Great awareness by McCarthy. He's so quick and he loves rolling around that crease. Now that was a good way to beat Andrew Matalevich's last season. Freedom had a lot of success off of those tight quarters. And Matalevichus has been really good in stopping those this season, but sometimes he finds a guy that's just a bit too fast, and that was James McCarthy on that play. As Central wins another face-off.
Yeah, I got a feeling anytime in this game anybody goes up by more than one, it's a big advantage.
Yeah.
Big advantage. So let's see if Central can do that.
So they've won 7 face-offs so far. Parkland just 4, so they're leading in that department. Vikings with a 5-4 lead, just under 7 left to play in the first half. Tommy McGorry. He contributed a goal last night as well. Different cast of characters out there. They get a reprieve from Restino for a second.
Yeah, Kumarnitsky is staying. He did a good job there of staying with the ball and kind of getting enough to take this away. But this, without Restino, you're seeing just a tremendous amount of movement, and Central trying to create something with that.
Ball gets away from his pocket a bit, so that slides high. McCarthy there at the end line, retaining possession. I thought he was going to try that crease roll again. He opts to go back to the top.
The difference there, that time, they got a little, Parkland dropped over. Schaefer was able, 33, he was able to help out Kumarnitsky.
McCarthy struggled to get the ground ball there, but he's able to get back control. Central using a bit of patience here to try and figure out their attack. Shimko with it now. Shimko looking inside. And just like that, it is a 2-goal lead for the Vikings.
That's why Shimko's now got 22 assists.
Yeah, he is. Oh my goodness. Shimko has just dished out 21 assists this season.
Waiting for the
another
cutter.
one.
Waiting for the cutter. There he is, right through the middle. You got 4 defenders around you. just that attack. And you mentioned it, Gwen. It was a patient offensive possession, and it was almost like they were lulling you to sleep, and then just a little guy, a little cutter sneaks in there, and Shimko dishes it off. I mean, this is a tremendous 1-2 punch, what we've seen, or we've seen the versatility offensively of what Central can do, and now Shimko shows why he's got so many assists.
Wow, Parkland upset. They'll get the call off of Scott's reaction. Still a bit upset there on the sideline, so he gets the violation call off the face-off. He disagrees with it clearly. Well then, let's go back to talking about Luke Shimko. So Luke Shimko has just been incredible this year. We will quickly look at what this violation was. Now I believe it's because he put his pocket on top of the ball there for a second.
Yeah, because the reaction of spiking the ball, I think, is what created the flag, and they got to calm him down because this is a role that you need to have somebody step up because, again, the Vikings have now built a 2-goal lead. We know what they can do offensively, so you've got to start winning those face-offs to make sure you get a chance the other way because the way the Vikings offense is so patient, creating a turnover or stop is going to be pretty difficult.
And I can imagine it's frustrating. Scott hasn't really been challenged by any of the District 11 or EPC opponents this season. They have a bit of a two-headed monster between him and Esteban at the face-off X.
Right, there's a big turnover for Parkland.
Beidelman
the entire way.
Leaving him in the dust.
Yeah, football player.
Sometimes the football can be a bad thing because they get too physical and you end up in the box quite a lot. That's one thing I know Freedom has struggled with this year.
They got a couple wrestlers on the team, too.
Yeah.
Carabinus knows what it takes to...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Quick shot.
Nice.
No doubt about that one going through. It was Matthew Kelly, the sophomore midfielder, his 7th goal of the season.
Boy, that was really big because Parkland got what I said was going to be tough. They got the turnover. Beidelman gets things going. And Kelly, look at how far out he is. And then he just takes a shot, just a rocket shot from a good distance. Again, Vince Cerezi said we've got guys that have that ability to be plus 90 to get shots on goal. And that was a much-needed goal for the Trojans to get themselves back to within 1.
Yeah, and that all started with Beidelman battling there at the midfield, getting into that possession. So we are back with a 1-goal game. Vikings on top, 6-5, 4 left to play in the first half. Shout out to our stat guy, Nick, telling us Central has 4 assists, but that was the first assisted goal for Parkland tonight in their 5 goals. So need to spread a love a little bit more. I think Central's doing a fantastic job taking away their main character in Parker Cusco.
Yeah, you're right. Did Beidelman get the assist on that? Because that was 2. Yep. So 2 touches. But yeah, you're right. But Beidelman got it started. Now Max Esteban came in for that last face-off, and his numbers are great. Oh, off the post. It's 4 though. Oh, of course, because he came back in. Yeah.
I don't even need to call it. We already know who it is.
Yep.
Michael Restino. You're keeping count. That's 4 goals for the junior. He is on fire. That's just trickling in from last night. So 5 goals last night. He's got 4 already, and it is only the first half.
Well, defensively, again, he's finding ways to get open, and just for him, that's an easy shot because it's right out front, right on goal. Another rocket shot, 7-5 lead, back up 2.
Face-off violation, so Parkland will get the win. That was Esteban there at the dot. And he wants to barrel right through. Ball came a little bit too far up in his pocket to gain control on that shot, so he recedes. Restino has taken 4 shots in this game, all went into the net.
That's not the shooting percentage he has over the course of the season has been really great. 46% coming in, which you think, well, no, I mean that's
good.
That's pretty good. And now at 4 for 4. They are talking about not being off target and not getting any saves.
Dylan Lysted making it easy for Burke. Stopping that shot inside. Parkland putting on the pressure. So this is where Central can get in a bit of trouble on their clears.
Yeah, Cusco was one that started it, so did Bidelman. Yeah, that's got to be the Trojans got to make sure if they do get a stop down low, you're absolutely right, that they don't get out quickly.
And that's what really killed them against Nazareth last week. That was a big wake-up call for this team. Blue Eagles have been so much improved over the years. Scott Sigmund taking over. He was at Allentown Central Catholic prior. He's in his second season over there with the Blue Eagles, but they were able to beat Allentown Central Catholic thanks to their ride and midfield. They won in overtime, 10-9. Oh, trying to split between the two defenders. A flag will fly.
Yeah, Matt Kelly was the one that came in 17.
Lysted gets sent to the box. Dangerous play for Dylan Lystad. So Parkland with their first man-up opportunity of the evening, trying to get one back from the Vikings, who have really seized the momentum here. Inside, quick turn and shoot. That one goes wide. Danny Tapia.
Keeping an eye on Cusco to see if he can get himself open. He was right next to the goal, so he kept it alive by another nice one.
Right on cue.
Yep.
But Burke was up to the task. That is a very quick and easy flag to throw.
Parkland doesn't agree, which of course they're not going to, but Central
No one will
credit,
ever agree with when
yeah.
the flag's flown on their team, but you got to keep control of the game. You can't let it get too physical, or else we'll have another situation like we did before.
Now, waning minutes here of this second quarter. The biggest lead we've seen has been 2 goals. I think this is Bidelman again that's going to get called for this. That's a shot. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have possession yet.
Yeah, that's a, yeah.
And that one is locked in. So Bidelman's locked in in the box. There's still a penalty from Central that needs to wind down a bit, but that should be over pretty soon. I think I overheard 9 seconds left.
Yeah, because Lystad's still over here.
Yeah. So they'll be man up in a few seconds here. That one locked in for Bidelman. So it doesn't matter if they score, still man up. We are finally back underway. There is just over a minute left here in the first half. Central with a 2-goal lead, their largest of the night. Wide open, Shoemaker shoots, is stopped by Metalevicius.
Well, getting out of this defensive end will be crucial for Parkland now. Shimko creates a turnover, potentially.
And you could just see the sideline for Allentown Central Catholic. They're just feeling good. Shimko, top shelf for Luke Shimko.
I think Parkland thought the whistle had blown. I'm going to wait on this one. I thought they stopped action there for a minute, and so did the Trojans from this backside. You see an official explaining this now to the Parkland crew.
Let's see how this one shakes out. So Resi does not look happy. Every single Central kid has their hands up.
Well, they're trying to will that was a goal.
Yeah, right.
I think our official on the backside of the play had whistled it dead. I thought there was an infraction here, and I think that's what Parkland thought and didn't kind of restart. I'll have to wait and see what they decide to do here. I mean, there's a whistle for sure, and then
Yeah.
Shimko just grabs it and
There was
goes.
a whistle, yeah.
So,
Nope, there was a whistle for continuation of play, and Luke Shimko just caught them sleeping a bit.
listen, but they whistled, stopped it, right? I mean, I've been watching a lot of rugby, and you don't
Yeah.
need a whistle to restart, so I'm getting used to it. But I'm like, wait a second, yeah, you heard the whistle, and Parkland stopped.
And just didn't restart on the second
No,
whistle.
there was another one, yeah.
Yes, there was a second, and that's when Luke Shimko.
Took off, yep.
So as of
Yeah,
right
it's a
now,
goal.
there's going to be another discussion, though, but that is a goal. Parkland, unfortunate for them, perhaps didn't hear the whistle or were misunderstood. Further discussion warranted for this one. We've got 50 seconds left here in the second quarter. Vikings, for now, up 8-5. So they're going to call a coaches meeting here at the midfield between Odenthal and Arezi. So much drama already in the first half
I think they took the goal off.
of this one, yeah. Wow. The Trojans
Yeah.
are lucky with that one. So they take that goal away from Shimko. It is 7-5.
I give Central and Shimko credit for trying
Yeah,
to get their quick
absolutely.
restart. Why not? And 2 of the 3, yeah, so now it stays with the Trojans,
Oh
though.
my goodness. What a sequence. Well, we're
Yeah.
back in action, and they've got speed, and they're going to try and get one here before the second quarter ends.
And remember, they're still short. They're going to call a timeout.
Blake Finnegan was working there. And we got some more yelling.
That was inadvertent, I think. Yeah.
I think that was,
Yeah,
he wasn't
that's
even looking
that's
at it.
inadvertent.
That was
No,
inadvertent.
It's okay.
It's just an unfortunate
That's all right.
thing that happened.
I love these football guys, though.
Yeah, right.
Of course, I was talking about vitamin. You're like, sometimes, and then he's in for a couple minutes. Yeah, for that shot.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Obviously, it's just a 2-goal game, but seeing how they can maintain this and keep this, because both teams are emotionally and mentally here tonight.
Yep.
That is for sure.
No mistake with
Yeah.
that. And I'm kind of glad this is happening towards the end of the second quarter, so both teams can go cool off and maybe
Yeah.
we can have a clean slate into the second
Yep.
half. But Luke Shimko, I'm sure he's not happy with that. And you know what? I thought it was a little strange they had that wide open of a lane.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh wow, wide open.
And it turned out,
Shimko.
yeah, they didn't even possess it there. It wasn't even their ball there,
No.
but yeah. Keep a little mark on that one. It should be 8-5, maybe.
I've never seen a lacrosse game in my life that didn't include a little spice. So.
You have to. Yeah.
Well, the timeout has concluded, so Parkland will have 34 seconds to work with here. Beidelman still locked into the box there, but that should be winding down. He's standing up, so he's getting ready. And I think they'll just hold on to it until Beidelman gets back, and there he goes. Even strength. Working around the crease, back pedals. Tipped by a pole, quick turnaround, wow. Yard sail right at the top of the crease. They call for a push. All stays with Parkland.
I think
Shut
that
up.
was Cusco that
Yeah.
had that chance.
Yep. How about Lystad, though? He has been a thorn in this team's side in this
Yeah.
first half. Central just throws this one away and lets the clock wind down. A dramatic first half has come to a close as the Vikings hold a couple goal lead, 7-5 over the visiting Trojans. We'll break this first half down right after this on the Service Electric Network. We welcome you back to Salisbury High School as we go over the half that was, and that was a dominating performance by Central Catholic's Michael Restino. He responsible for most of those 7 goals that you see up there, and a lot of those were assisted. So, Doug, he has been incredible in this game, the junior scoring from all different angles.
Yeah, and we knew that he was going to be an offensive threat. It's just a matter now of trying to figure out a way to shut him down. So here's a chance where he just barely clears a defender. Same deal here. I mean, he's very dangerous from outside with that shot, with that extremely quick shot. But then he can attack, get in there. I mean, obviously either side, whether it's to his right or to his left, there is no stronger side. And here's where he's going to step in. Plus, we saw him with a tremendous assist in this game so far. So that's going to be the key guy that they're going to have to slow down in this second half and now come back, not only slow him down, but try to come back from a 2-goal deficit.
And looking back at those goals, he's finding a lot of success shooting high on Andrew Matalevich's tonight. So we'll see if he can do more of that here in the third quarter. I know Parkland's going to try and stop him.
I think what's impressive about that, too, and that one was right over top.
Yep.
I mean, that's, you would think, because where you're starting with that, the possession is with the stick, that you're able to drop it down a little bit quicker. But he's shooting it right up there. Maybe his strongest attack spot is going to be up over the shoulders or right up over top of the goalie's head.
Well, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the statistics from the first half before we get into third quarter action. Stay with us. We are back with you live here at Salisbury High School. The sun has officially set as the lights are out. Here on the Vikings, they are leading 7-5 over the Parkland Trojans. Here we showed you Michael Restino's barrage of goals that we saw in the first half, but he wasn't the only one to score. In Parkland, they saw some pretty impressive moves as well as we take a look back at the first and second quarters here of the first half. And Beidelman, he has had a great game so far, both physically and in scoring.
Yeah, and there's the early goal where he comes off a screen set by Smith and is able to show his range from outside. Now here's Jack Restino finding Michael Restino, his brother. Again, just gets a little bit of distance from the defender, clears and shoots. These are all pretty nice, but they get better as the game goes on, too. And then we're going to see Parkland off a little ground ball picked up there by Smith. He scores again. Another nice open shot from outside. That's been crucial. Smith attacks now. He's the dodge, and then he's going to shoot up over top. That's where I thought the sun might have been an issue with Burke because he's looking right into it. And then Restino attacks. You think he's going to score? Nope, he's going to find his teammate open there, and that's going to be McCarthy, who sneaks up. This was the start of the second quarter right out of the break. Beidelman has it, and watch what he does. He'll just attack here. Dive at the goal, dodge, get open, and then score. So he's good outside as he's almost standing firm, and then also attacking. And McCarthy, this is a great job of staying legal, diving and scoring. I mean, these goals just continue to be very impressive how these guys can be so creative. And here's Shimko with it. He'll find an open teammate, Luke Walters, streaking toward the goal again. That's why Shimko is so good distributing. And this is the only assist Parkland has after they got the turnover, and they're able to get it. They were able to get it to Kelly, who scored the goal, his 7th of the season, and final goal of that opening half. Who else but 22 from outside? As Gwen pointed out, top shelf, top left. If you're looking at it offensively, beating the goaltender. So it'll be fun to see who steps up and if they're able to slow any of these offensive weapons down.
You are taking a look at the scoring summary of Central on top 7-5. I want to point out Central has 7 goals. 5 of those were assisted. They are so good at spreading their offense out. Parkland just with 1 assist on their 5 goals. That the owner, Jake Beidelman, with that one. Now let's take a look at our statistics for the first half. They should be pretty even, I imagine. Face-offs, though, Central Catholic was dominating that to start this game in that first quarter.
Well, the top 2 are the ones that are going to stand out, but it's those middle 2, the 3 and 4, that's going to be crucial coming up. Face-offs 1 obviously means you're going to start with possession, And if you lose those ground balls, if you can create a turnover and pick up a ground ball, go the other way, because now if you're Parkland, you've got to regroup and come from a 2-goal deficit. Turnovers have been pretty close. Obviously, if you're the Trojans, you have to limit those, especially coming out of your defensive zone, and you see how Central is with the multiple weapons being able to assist. How about the fact that Cusco has been quiet? That's where they've got to find, and that's where Parkland, I mean, Beidelman's been good, and he's been able to shoot from outside, but they've got to get him more involved. They got to figure out. It's not that they're not trying. I think Central's doing a great job of shutting him down.
Yeah, and I think someone that stands out to me is Dylan Lystad, the senior defenseman for Allentown Central Catholic. He has been really disruptive there at the front of the crease. He's deflected a few passes. He's caused a couple turnovers, so we'll see how this one shakes out. There was some drama at the end of that first half. If you're just tuning in, a goal was taken away from Luke Shimko. They were unsure on the restart. Parkland wasn't ready, so they sorted that out, and let's hope the drama does not continue into the second half as we are officially underway here from the face-off X. As Parkland comes away with it, Esteban coming away with the win there at the face-off. Vikings up 7-5. I'm Gwen Begley, joined by Doug Heater. Parkland is in red, Central in white. A little easier to see the numbers now, Doug, with the sun gone down.
Yeah, I'm going by shoe color, by the way. But yeah, I know, I agree.
Another broken up play.
Cusco got knocked down from behind too when he tried to scoop that up and look to the sideline. Oh man.
Burke just having fun with that one, but Allentown Central Catholic, they're trying to steal that momentum they built there in the first half. Great turnover to start.
Oh, I was good. Oh, there's one behind the back. I'm sorry, Gwen. I've said something. You looked at me and you missed it.
We'll get it.
Oh, that was nice, but
we'll get one.
By McCarthy. Oh.
Wow. Able to stick with the play. McCarthy will come away with that ground ball.
You got to convince Freemuth. You got to have like 6 plays on top plays next week.
It's going to be all
this game.
Yep. He's going to get like 20 emails just on every single goal. And if he doesn't show all of them, I'm going to be pretty upset. Well, let's see if we see some more highlight reel goals from both these teams here in the second half. You got to imagine Parkland with some re-energized motivation. Not used to playing down, especially against an EPC opponent this season. They've been pretty dominating. Shimko trying to shake his defender, loses control, gets it back. Looking in front. Oh, the pass disconnected to Liam Farrell. He had a wide open lane there.
So I was just watching that Leaks was on Rustino, and he's over there again. They're going back to man, but this is a patient attack by the Vikings, and right now they've kept Central. Oh, there it is. No.
Crease violation. Oh. That's the same combination between Rustino and McCarthy, and it works. Man. Usually works, but a little bit of step into the crease there.
And I heard the second whistle start play there that time. So we've got a penalty on the Vikings.
And there might be another one there with a late push.
Watch this.
Scott.
This is a great feed, and look at where he is. Oh, his foot is just over top of it.
But it was floating over top of it. But that's so difficult.
Look, by the way.
I mean, that's difficult for the officials to see, but our camera guys are just
excellent.
Killing it tonight with these angles. Oh my gosh, he was hovering. That was a goal, but obviously not.
I tell you what, though, how about Central's creativity? So that was McCarthy, who had 2 opportunities coming across the goal. One up over the back that was knocked away, and then that one. That's, wow. Now, Parkland's got to make this count with that turnover.
Second man up opportunity for Parkland after Liam Farrell takes a seat in the box. Looking for the feed inside, it's not there. Smith up top. Disconnected pass. Man, you can't drop anything around this Central defense.
Oh.
They had it manned pretty good in the middle there, but Burke has had an incredible game so far.
Yeah, and Carter Young, 24, he's got the big knee brace on his left knee. He's the one that was keeping a great eye on Cusco from behind the goal whenever number 8 would come out and show himself.
9th save for Chris Burke in between the pipes there for Allentown Central Catholic. Parkland in trouble there for a second. Luke Shimko will try and get around these three. Pushed out. Good crash by the Trojans defense. And we'll get a timeout by Allentown Central Catholic as Luke Shimko was looking for options. Odenthal wanting a discussion with his team before they get in this possession. I think they were still man down. If not, it was dwindling.
Yeah, that sounds about right as far as calling that timeout, too, to make sure you know what you're going to do offensively. So, listen, when you look at statistics, like, you know, I'm not a big stat guy, but there's certain ones. Is that a golden retriever hair on my body?
Sorry, I just picked off a hair
a dog hair from
back.
one of my gold. All right, anyhow. I'm not a big stat guy,
Yeah.
but there's certain statistics that people look at and be like, what? All right, so I'm going to shout out to Mike Krause. Digs in volleyball, you don't mention very often, but you know how crucial they are when you break a game down. Ground balls in this game, well, it's kind of tough to be like, hey, you got 37 ground balls this year. Like, people are like, what? That was huge on that last possession because Central was able to control it and keep. It was Driscoll that got it, that won the ground ball. So those little things, face-offs, ground balls in a game this tight, if you can get a stop, making sure that if it's on the ground, you scoop it up, and face-offs won. So I want to throw a couple things out there to keep an eye on what they're going to do here, what is going to be crucial here in a game this close with possessions being so important.
Yeah, ground balls very crucial, especially there after the face-off. That's why you see those face-off guys just racking up the numbers.
Yeah,
You
there
see
it
they
is,
were
7-7.
even at 7 apiece for ground balls. So someone needs to break away in that category if they're going to come away with the win. We're still 7-5. This is a very slow quarter here in the third. Both defenses working hard. Quinn Driscoll rotating to the top. Stutter stepper Stino out there. He is heavily manned now. Looks like they tried to prioritize taking him away, but he rolls around the crease, goes inside. There is no violation on this one.
Yeah.
As they call it a goal. Restino with another assist.
It's McCarthy, of course.
And it is, of course, James McCarthy.
Look at where 6 is right here. Beitelman has got his eyes to him, but watch him just sneak behind. What a great pass. And then a little ground ball, a little on-the-ground hop. Watch this one, right? Goes low because he knows the goalie's going toward the pipe and ground balls it in. Ground balls it in short side, even more impressive.
Yep.
Oh, man, I tell you.
Those two, what a tag team those two have really become over the years. It's so natural between them two. They just, so many inside feeds, and that is where the Vikings are lethal. A big face-off win for Parkland. They're going to go right to the house. Shoot and score. That one a low shot, skimming the carpet.
Yeah, it's in. Yep. So this is Tapia. This one stuck for us.
Yes,
yeah.
Tapia,
and
now he scored.
What's interesting is that's Esteban with a face-off win. Now he created that. That's his third assist. But obviously the message from Coach Arezzi was win a face-off. You got a shot, go. Start that transition. There's the dish. He'll go low as well, off the ground and get it. Now they don't even have 6 offensive guys over there. They're not even 6 on 6, but that's what they want from the face-off guy, is starting that transition. Big answer back goal for Parkland.
Yeah, if you change your face-off guy out, that can swing momentum tenfold, and that's what Parkland is really hoping for here. But the midfield reigns supreme for Allentown Central Catholic. It's like that was number 8, John Peters, coming away with the ground ball. Once again, putting it in motion here for the Vikings.
They're going to get another penalty on Beitelman. I don't know about that, but it's on McCarthy, and he kind of slipped, changing direction, but it's going to be a penalty.
Now, it was still with Central, but they still call the whistle here.
Now, the official that called it is the one you see coming in all the way on the other side of the field. And I think that, well, let's see, maybe I'm going to be wrong on this. I thought that looked worse than it was because of the fact that McCarthy slipped. But Beitelman's going to go off again, so now a chance for the Vikings to take advantage. Go back up, try to go up 3.
Beitelman has had a couple penalties so far in this game. Another man-up opportunity for the Vikings. Rustino and McCarthy out there. See if they can give some other guys some love. Behind it's Shimko, up front to McCarthy. He shoots, he scores. From the top, James McCarthy, his second straight for the Vikings.
And this is Shimko, the assist from that X position coming behind. Parkland's got the front of that goal defended well. They're trying not to allow the dodge coming from the back. Look at Shimko come around. So he's got the defender sliding over, and guess who he finds? So we've seen 6 now in front a couple times and then from a distance.
You can tell they're just having fun with it right now.
Yeah.
They're having fun playing lacrosse.
Yes,
not just because they're winning, but they're just having fun with it. And that's what they kind of said to us. They don't know who's going to show up, but if they all show up and they're all just playing the game of lacrosse, things are going to work out for them if they don't overthink it. Shimko, you mentioned ground balls. They keep being ever important for this Viking team. They'll push it all the way back to the midfield, get their personnel in order.
So now Walters, he's got the, so they're gonna, I'm just trying to, so Michael Rustino not out during this possession, giving these other guys a chance. You know, burn a little time, and obviously they can still score.
Who's hot here?
So McCarthy's behind the goal.
Yeah, sneaky.
Let's keep an eye on him. It looks like that it's Drew Schaefer that's with him, 33.
Shimko. Look for the inside feed. They've been successful with it all night. McCarthy goes back up top, so Shoemaker, he misses it. Doesn't know where it is, so he'll have to battle along the sideline there. Central gets lucky. And the wind up and shoot. Matalevich just comes up with the save. Well, it looks like the reason Rustino is waiting to get back on. Parkland on the move. Pass off, shoot, stop by Burke. That one ricochets to the sideline, and Central is the first there.
Oh man, now Burke's gonna come up big with a couple of stops. That's Tapia that had it. Watch him slide over and kick it out, and then they beat Parkland to the sideline to keep possession.
That was an incredible save getting low for Burke. He has 10 saves, only 3 quarters in this game.
I have a lot of respect for those guys that want to do that.
Oh,
because it's so difficult. And I mean, hockey goalie, yes, but like it's crazy. You're talking about 106 coming at you sometimes, you know, with no more padding really, and that's a nice kick save. I mean, I got a lot of respect for those guys.
You could not pay me to get in between the pipes in a hockey game or a lacrosse game.
I would put hockey gear on. I know your dad's done it a lot of times, so I figure if he can do it.
Don't pump his tires more than they already are pumped, Doug.
I'm not saying he's any good at it. If he could do it, I would not do this. Forget it.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever tried lacrosse. Maybe he'll try and
forget that. I don't even want to
be a goalie for that too, but
might stand behind the goal and watch when go in. But
God, Michael Rustino with the ball inside feed.
Oh.
Behind the back and off the carpet. That was Shimko winning that one. So looking over the top of the goal there. Another inside feed. Crease violation, another one for McCarthy.
Yeah, that was him coming back around. He was looking for Shimko cutting through.
Yeah.
This is the Shimko no look. Oh man.
I know you wanted that one to go in.
Oh, that's another top play.
Yeah. All right, Parkland down 9-6. Their work off the crease, get pushed out. More tight defense from the Vikings. Jack Foley hounding. Burke, another big save, tried to quick stick it off of the deflection, denied up front. I believe that was Cusco.
Yep, he had a chance. Central, any win on the defensive side, they're celebrating. And here comes Rustino the other way. He's fresh.
They've got Jack Rustino on. You got Shoemaker with the ball at the top. We see a little bit more patience from Central. This is what you mentioned before, Doug, trying to bait them a little bit, tire the defense out.
So it looks like Colin Winfield, 66, came in. He's the big guy in the middle for Parkland. He's got an eye on McCarthy. There it goes, Cutter. Oh, nope. Yeah, he's staying right with McCarthy. They're trying.
They got the inside cut from Shoemaker. That gets broken up. Another ground ball opportunity right in the top here. Central comes away with it, gets knocked down. It is a free-for-all. A lot of these here tonight.
How about, yeah,
wow,
and Parkland
Shoemaker.
Twice, yeah, and Parkland twice had a chance to come out, and Central comes away with it.
There were a couple goals scored last night, one by none other than Michael Rustino. Oh, Luke Shimko finally getting his goal.
That's a backbreaker. You're up 4 now with 1:40 to go in the third. That was the backbreaker possession. Parkland had 2 chances to come out of that. And watch Shimko here defended, puts a little shoulder in to get that clearance, and then fires. Plus McCarthy's presence in front. He cuts up front. You see where Komarnitsky is trying to take away backside. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one now. 4 with just a little bit of time. Boy, did he deserve that one.
He sure did. I bet that feels good for the senior attackman. I was mentioning before, a lot of goals were scored last night off of a deflected pass. They picked up the ground ball and immediately recovered. Defense did not recover.
Yeah.
So they bested Northwestern Lehigh like that, and now they're besting Parkland in that manner as well. So that quick recovery, not giving up on the play, is really what's brought Vikings to now 10 goals, up 10-6 over the Trojans nearing the end of the third.
All right, speaking of quick, that time Central defended that transition off the faceoff way better. So it took away a potential transition goal and now forces the Trojans to make this possession count. Really need this goal to get it to within 3 with almost just over a minute to go.
Charging up the middle, pass back. Parkland just looking a bit disjointed tonight. We've seen them play just once so far this season, but it already looks a little bit uncharacteristic of the way that they've played. A quick turnover there. Looking for the feed. They'll push back up to the top. It's Tyler Smith with it. Beidelman. Inside, quick shoot. That one cannot even get past the defense.
That was Cusco that had that deflected. I think he broke the stick. No, maybe not.
Wouldn't be the first time. Not quite the battle there to the end line.
Yeah,
Matalevicius was there first. Oh, yeah, he did break the stick.
Break it,
Yeah, that's just the head came off.
Okay, no big deal. He dropped it, so they got to bring it to the sideline, yeah.
Just got to pay an extra few $100 for a new one. Lacrosse is not cheap, folks. They lob it way down as the clock.
It was a little.
He did a little fake. He faked me out.
I don't think it was intentional,
I'll
but yes.
take that personally. I'm kidding. All right, well, Allentown Central Catholic is up 10-6 after 3 quarters of play. Can they get it done and defeat the Trojans? We'll find out right after this live on the Service Electric Network. We are back with you live, getting set for the final quarter of play here from Salisbury High School, home of the Allentown Central Catholic Vikings here in the 2024 season. They are the only team, one of the only teams without their own field to be able to play on, so they kind of have to find other places. Salisbury gracious enough to host them this season, and they've found success on this field thus far, looking for their second consecutive victory after a overtime loss to Nazareth last week. Parkland trying to get the momentum back. Gwen Begley and Doug Heater here with you on the Service Electric Network. We thank you for joining us. Our first live lacrosse broadcast of the season. Finally, we got a couple rainouts before when we were supposed to do a couple games. But
so I had, with Mikey V, the Emmaus Freedom game, which I was jacked for. I'm like, man, this is going to be great. And then that day, I'm like, oh, boy, this is awful.
Yep.
And then it was last night. But to tease me a little bit more, I was at Emmaus for track and field yesterday, and then the game was going to start in a little bit, but I had to go. It turned out that wasn't too bad last night.
It ended up being a very good game.
Yeah.
Emmaus won 12-11, and we'd like to extend our congratulations to Will Barber for earning his 200th career goal. I'm so sorry we weren't there for that, Will.
Well, we'll see him.
We'll see him plenty more, but.
So I'm calling dibs on any future lacrosse games, just so you know, because I love these things.
Hey, it's a good team because you're not taking it away from me, that's for sure. We do have another live lacrosse broadcast later on this week, but on the girls' side, we'll have Southern Lehigh and Nazareth girls lacrosse going at it on Thursday night, so make sure you tune into that. Baseball and softball on this week as well on the Service Electric Network. We've been quite busy here getting into the spring sports season. A little bit of trouble with postponements, but we've got a couple good days in a row. I think it's going to be bad again tomorrow, but we're going to hope for the best, folks.
But 2 weeks ago, that was horrific, man.
It's been a rough March and April.
Yeah, of course.
McCarthy.
Oh, big save.
Huge save. He'll get the push.
Oh, man, okay.
With White.
Watch this. So here's McCarthy. They stop him. And then where's...
I think the push was there on the back.
Right here, right there. Yep. Didn't want to get him, didn't want to let him back up.
Yeah. Central trying to move further away from Parkland. This would just be a huge win for the Vikings. And I know it's just the middle of the season. I know it gets really important. We get later on towards May. Liam Farrell working around his defender. Matalevicius comes up with the save on the bouncer.
Big stop. Big stop for Parkland. Let's see if they can cash in.
Blake Finnegan on the move, going inside. Another disconnected pass. That has been the theme for the Trojans tonight.
Just missed on that connection with Matt Kelly. But it stays. No, it doesn't. I thought it. Nope. No, it doesn't.
We were just taking a look at Parker Cusco.
Yeah.
Have not heard from him at all tonight, and I very much assume that's on purpose. Allentown Central Catholic doing a great job at keeping him out of the equation. Parker, a Muhlenberg commit. His brother Chase Cusco playing there now, so they will be reunited once more in a couple years. Roller to Restino. You gotta imagine if you're the Vikings, you take as much time as you need in this final quarter. Eat as much of that clock up.
Oh, they're going to extend this way out, but then you got a guy that's extremely difficult to defend one-on-one, Restino, if he decides to dodge. There's another big save.
Ricochet, Shimko picking up the GB. There's that recovery again. Pass inside. McCarthy once again hanging out at the top of the crease. Another violation. I mean, if you scored at least like 3 of them, the ones that you go the violation,
he's got 2.
Out, I guess?
He's got 2 missed goals tonight that I want to see replays
I know.
of. That's another one. I don't know what he did there.
James.
All right, another big stop for Parkland. Now let's see what they. So Cusco has just been defended well. They haven't really been able to get him open down low. He's been marked, whether it's with 1 or 2 defenders. They've been moving him around. Doesn't have to be him scoring here, but each possession gets tighter and tighter as far as if you're Parkland. You can't let too many of these slip away.
You got to think this is a possession you got to score on. A little bit of an open look there, opts to pass. And they try and go for another pass inside again. Disconnected, scrambling for the ground ball. That's a push to the ground. They come away with it.
So that was Cusco on the contact, which was legal, and he created the turnover. Here he is.
Wide open.
There we
He
go.
goes right between the legs of Burke. There he is. It's Parker Cusco.
It starts with him creating the turnover with the contact, and then they scoop it up and come back. They needed that one big. Now you come back with a face-off win and immediately start going. So the turnover's been created, and now they're going to attack with Smith. He's going to head toward the goal, flip it, and Cusco stays to the side and bounces this one off the ground. He needed that goal. So did Parkland. Now they're staying in this game down 3. They got to inch a little bit closer, but each possession they get, they cannot waste. 41 goals this year.
Yeah, he is incredible. I remember the first game I covered, first game of the season, he had, I think, 6 or 7 goals. Like you mentioned, Doug, another huge face-off win for the Trojans. Trying to recapture that spark. They got to clean up their passes in that box. Dodging.
Oh, it was Gertis the whole way.
Weaving.
So it stays with Parkland. So Vitalman has stayed on the defensive side these last 2 possessions. Oh, how about that?
The Trojans, they're capturing that momentum right back. John Garancher, his first of the game, 15th of the season.
Out.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, just beautiful. Just comes around the goal, defended well, and then goes opposite shoulder. I mean, that's Lystad who's on him.
Just like that, we've got a 2-goal game. That's how quickly this can swing. And if you let off the gas for just a second, you're letting that other team back in. These are 2 teams that you cannot stand by and give them any extra opportunities. The Vikings will need a face-off win here if they hope to recapture the momentum, and they do come away with it. They have been very successful there at the face-off X tonight. Shimko disrupted. Parkland, huge turnover in the box. Central trying to break up the connection here.
And that was actually Esteban that created that turnover, 22, so.
Central gave them 0 options to get down to the other end, so they'll turn it over. Their midfield ruthless tonight. Foley passing off to Jack Restino. Michael Restino sauntering in there around the 40-yard line.
So here's Beitelman. He's, again, stayed on the defensive side the last couple of possessions. He'll stay with Restino.
Beitelman's been a defender.
Yeah.
His whole career, he's really getting his feet wet in the attacking zone this season. Restino, once again, Central just trying to eat up as much time as they can. But Jack, he looked like he was trying to shoot there. He does. That one goes wide. 6:14 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Central looking to make it 2 straight wins. James McCarthy, they'll go behind, feed out in front. Shimko at the top. One thing you might hear is the defensive communication. That's something Coach Arezzi said Andrew Matalevicius has been really successful in as a leader for this team, just being loud, communicating with the squad.
Oh, he made a big stop there on that attempt by Farrell.
Big surge up to the front. They had a wide open man there. Tyler Smith was at the crease, but it was Foley who disrupted that pass. He got it tipped. And once again, a fight for the ground ball.
Oh, man.
Getting physical here.
Oh.
They go up with the rebound.
It's a goal. Yeah,
It's
it was
a goal.
Oh.
Wow.
So a shot behind, a contact behind the goal. The penalty flag was a little late coming out. Parkland kept possession and got the goal.
So there was a little bit of a discussion, but I think that goal still stands. They have not put it.
So watch. So there's the attempt. That's not the right here is where the penalty was called on Lystad. Loose ball. Parkland able to control a couple of times, couple of ground ball pickups, and then Garancher got the goal to make it 10-9. Boy, plenty of time. How about that, right? Yeah, that one stood.
Okay, yeah, it took them just till right now to
Yep.
be able to officially count that. Talking about not giving up on the play. Back-to-back goals from Garancher, just a sophomore on this team. They have a sophomore-laden squad this year, a very young team. Rezzi's saying Garancher is just a really coachable kid.
Yeah.
Just loves lacrosse. He wants to get better every single day, and that's what you love to see from a young guy, just a 10th grader. Another huge face-off win for Esteban.
Well, now you're Parkland, no need to rush at all.
No, you try and use as much as you can. Central all too familiar with these tight games, just playing in that overtime game with Nazareth last week. Up top. Smith. Right there with an odd angle on that wing.
I don't know how you score from there.
Again.
Is that 3 in a row now?
That is 3 in a row for number 26, John Garancher.
So you see him right there get the pass here. Look at where he is. Oh.
Beautiful.
So the Trojans have come back down 4, and they've tied this game, and there is still plenty of time to go in this fourth. Now, a lot of it has to have done with Esteban continuing to win the faceoff, and this will be Parkland's again.
Wow. They changed the narrative a bit in this one.
Yeah, and now so John Peters now, number 8, he's defending Cusco. Last possession, it was Sasanik, just trying to see what kind of movement to get in front.
Central desperate to play all 4 quarters this season. They saw it, they believe, for the first time last night against Northwestern Lehigh. They never let off the gas, winning that one 20-6, as I mentioned, but this is what happens when you let off that gas pedal a little bit. Parkland's not a team that's just gonna stand by and take a loss. Another turn and shoot, bouncing wide. You can feel the urgency from Central's defense, but also the momentum switch here for Parkland.
Now you've got Michael Restino playing some defense too. Trying to use his speed.
Trying to barrel inside, denied.
And then Jose Santiago, number 40, he's a long stick defender. He's also come in this fourth quarter to provide some fresh legs. They've tried to match him up with Smith.
Smith has had an incredible game so far, a couple goals. Matthew Kelly Parkland calling out the plays as they try and get settled into their attack. 3 minutes left to play in the game, tied at 10 apiece. Smith looking to go from the top, feeds inside.
Oh, an opening. Oh, Burke.
Burke is there.
Good save. Oh, man, just that one defender falling down, got the opening. Great defense. Straight up, hardcore man defense by Central. I mean, they were close. There's tight defense on every one of those guys.
So it looks like Central called the timeout before they let that one loose into the midfield. So they will keep possession with White. Let's take a look back at the last 3 goals for the Trojans, because they were all scored by a sophomore, and John Garantry came in with 14. Add a triple to that one, beating Chris Burke. He has been incredible in this spark in the 4th.
And this was the big one that got them to within 1. That's where the penalty was. He picks up the ground ball, comes in and attacks. There was, again, a breakdown with 2 defenders falling down behind, and then this one up close from an unbelievable angle to tie the game. Pretty efficient, 4 for 4. And again, you look at so many, I mean, we talked about Cusco in the Open, 40 goals, but you've got a guy like Garancher that comes in with 14, a young guy but can attack. And this is exactly what Vince Arezzi was saying, that if you're gonna shut one of our other guys down. Now let's remember that Beitelman, who also has been a key player offensively, has been playing defense most of this 4th. So these other guys are really stepping up big, especially 26. That's what's going to be fun about how this ends. Who's going to be the guy that gets the game winner here? And now, defensively, the Trojans haven't had to face this Viking offense much because they've continued to win the faceoffs. What do they do here to take away? And do we keep an eye on Rustino? Is he going to be the one that eventually attacks the goal and tries to give his team the lead back?
He's been quiet here in the second half. It's been all James McCarthy. He had 2 to start that 3rd quarter. Before Shimko got in on the action as well. But this second half has really been mostly Parkland, as they tried to erase the deficit one by one. Really swinging the momentum here off of those face-off wins. We saw Esteban take over, and he's been really great matching up with Sesenik. Parkland 4 unanswered as the Trojans look to come away with another win, remain undefeated in the EPC. Vikings trying to change that. Stop the bleeding here for a minute and get back on track. We've got less than 2 minutes left to play in this 4th, so they're going to take their time. Tate Shoemaker has it now. So Jack Rustino will come on. They took Liam Farrell out. And Jack threatening. Watch McCarthy inside. Rustino moving into the inside now.
So Beitelman's defending against Michael Rustino.
Doing a good job of it.
Yeah. I think created a turnover, maybe. Nope.
Oh, McCarthy. He came away with it, but he was hoarded by a gaggle of red jerseys.
Oh, and how about Shoemaker wins the battle of the ground ball?
They've been stellar at the GBs in this one. Passing over to Rustino. He shoots, he scores! Central back on top.
Well, it looked like Parkland had won that battle, and they just couldn't control the outlet pass. And Central comes back the other way. Shoemaker, who had controlled the ground ball. Here's Rustino cutting toward the goal.
And he had no one.
No, and they stepped out, but it was just too late, yeah. It's a young guy deciding, you know what, I'm just going, I mean, I'm going for it, but nobody was there. He knows, even though he's only a sophomore, knows, hey, you know what, no one's defending me, I'm going to score from this short range.
Another assisted goal. Trojans looking to get it back. They want speed. They are denied by Chris Burke. What a big save. Less than a minute left to go. Central's going to try and hold on to it. Expect really physical defense here from the Trojans.
Knocked free.
They got to take care of the ball. Timeout called, and a useful one. 33 seconds. And they're on top, thanks to Chris Burke, with a huge stop on the other end from the Parkland Trojans, denying them of the equalizer, but Burke has been incredible.
Yeah, I just, again, these guys, anytime you make, if you can make 5 in a game, to me it's impressive.
Yeah.
He's had, what, 13? I mean, and just,
13.
And especially late like this, because this is such a difficult position to play, control, and then to control them too. There's one of the biggest ones where he puts the leg out, kicks it, and then Central beats Parkland to the sideline. Here's 2 in a row. And then this was right before the end where he's able to, right here in this last possession, where he's able to step in position. I mean, it's just, and you know, it's funny, we're talking to Vince Arezzi about his goaltender in Metalevicius on how he has been better at being, what, maybe 1/10 of a second slower this year as far as reaction time.
Yeah.
Waiting for the shot and not reacting too quick. And I think you're seeing that from Burke in key spots. 78 saves coming into this game, and a big one right there.
So he had 12 saves last night. The game before that, he had 16. He saved in double digits in 5 games. Now 6 games, including this one. He's got his group fired up. I interviewed him last night. He might have to earn another one if they come away with this win, but...
I was going to ask you, good luck, man. What are you going to interview about half the team?
I mean, Michael Orstina. If they win, it's going to be the same guys as last night because they're the same guys that
The
produce.
heroes.
They're consistent.
Yep.
They want consistency. They saw it last night. We're seeing it again tonight.
All right, here we go.
Less than 30 seconds. Quick shot.
Oh, there's another
Burke.
one.
Can they get the deflection? They get it back.
Oh,
my goodness.
Cusco tied it, right? Yep. Oh.
Parker Cusco, the equalizer with 15 seconds left to go.
Oh, man. Streaking down the field. There's the Burke save on the Finnegan shot. And look at number 8 getting in the middle and then just attack.
Wasted no time.
Wow.
Wow. All right, well, here's the most important face-off of the entire game.
There's 15 seconds. We can get 2 goals scored in that amount of time.
Whew. Well, the way this is going, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Parkland with the face-off win. They're going to take it down. Three seconds. It goes high, and we have earned possibly some extra lacrosse. 0.9 to go. Unless Burke can fire it and beat Metalevicius all the way from this end, that's not how it's going to go. We are going to overtime, tied up at 11 apiece. Thanks to that guy right there. He's been quiet all game, but scoring when it matters most. Parker Cusco building off his 100 career goals here tonight with a couple. His second, the ever important one there, forcing this one into overtime. This is the second overtime game in a week for Allentown Central Catholic.
Yeah, that's right. A little different, right? Because they went back and
they had to climb back
to tie Nazareth, right?
They were down 8-2. Nazareth started out so incredibly strong. They had a great goalie. Colby Landis was stopping everything. And then Blake Smith, the game winner there. I mean, Central just ran out of gas in that game.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see what happens here. I mean, they played last night. Let's see. Let's see what they got left. I mean, they dominated that third quarter, took a nice lead, and then had a 4-goal lead into the fourth. If you're a believer in momentum, it's these guys in red, because they've been able to score 4 of the last 5 total goals scored.
And you got to think, not only, Parkland has the momentum coming in from that fourth quarter, but Central, they've got to have that in the back of their minds. They lost an overtime game just a few days ago, and they don't want that to happen again. So we will have a 4-minute overtime period. It is sudden death, so first goal ends the game. We'll have a meeting between captains there at the midfield.
You know what's interesting about this Trojans team is that they've lost to nobody in the EPC or the district, just very similar to what I think happened last year going into the EPCs. And then you got Central, who, you want to play. These teams want basically this. The goal for both of these squads, and Vince Cerezi said it, is we want to be in the state tournament. We want, obviously, you want to win a league and win a district, but you want, your bigger goal is that bigger picture. And that's why these games are so great for these teams. That's why Parkland's playing teams like Penridge and teams like that, playing and Central playing a Scranton Prep. You're getting yourself ready, and then we get to see these great matchups in this league with teams like Nazareth now being much better, Freedom, and Easton. I mean, obviously, and Emmaus. I mean, just tremendous teams. They're getting better and better. As they were saying, like those middle tiers, like the Nazareth Freedoms, were always kind of hanger on. Now they're up there. I mean, Freedom has been consistently in the district championship, and they're gonna be a fun team to watch again.
Yeah, they may have fell to Parkland. They're still trying to figure a few things out, but I would expect them to be in the race later on down the season. The two-time defending district champions taking down Parkland a year ago. The Trojans, it's been a minute since they won a district title. 2018 was their last one. They lost in the final in 2019, 2021, and 2023. So they're going to hope to change that this year. We are back at the face-off X. Parkland, easy win from the face-off. Shoot, scores! Parkland wins it! Right off the opening face-off of overtime.
It's Esteban, right? Yeah, I mean, that couldn't have been any quicker. Only goal of the game.
Max Esteban, just his second goal of the season.
All right, well, I think you might be talking to him.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
he
man.
Takes over at the face-off X. He dominates from there.
Just steals it.
Just a beautiful
I tell you what,
execution.
It is fitting. It really is fitting, because if you go back and watch this game, he's a key reason why this team came back, because he kept winning face-offs. He kept getting possessions for them. That is a great, great feeling.
Well-deserved hugs and pats on the back for Max Esteban. He is gassed.
Yeah.
He can barely catch his breath because he took off after that face-off win. You can see it there. 7
I'll tell you
seconds.
what. Yeah.
Wow.
That was great. What a great contest for these two teams. And I know, again, listen, we're gearing up. To me, it's getting close enough to start thinking about who might be in an EPC top 4 with so many teams being good. But this is a nice win for Parkland. Of losing on Saturday, non-league hurts. Now they're back in it. Deceiving record, I think, because again, they haven't lost to anybody in the district, in the league. They beat Easton and Central. Again, Will Oldenthal said, I just want 4 consistent quarters, and now we're going to overtime. He goes, whatever happens, happens. He's still got to be happy with the way his squad played. This was a great effort for both of these teams.
Yeah, they were consistent from the very first whistle to the very last. They just got beat there at the faceoff. I mean, that's how important that position is. That's how important that midfield is. And Parkland comes away with it. They remain undefeated, 6-0 in the EPC, improving to 7-3. Let's take a look back at some of those goals we saw in the second half, because there was quite a lot from Parkland. Now, Central only had 4 goals in the entire second half. So this was really where Parkland was coming out to shine. But Central, they still weren't without theirs. James McCarthy, crease violation a couple times in this one. I'm sure he'll want a couple of those back, but there was a flurry from the Trojans.
Right, and there's Tappy gets a goal. McCarthy had that one prior. You're going to see Central get a good movement in front. There's McCarthy from way outside to get a goal in the third quarter. Shimko is going to use that physical strength of that shoulder, clears the space from the defender and gets in there. And then Smith picks up the ground ball and feeds Cusco, who also had some big goals in that fourth quarter. Garancher had 3.
3 straight. I think he earned himself an interview too.
Yeah, he had a great, and then this was right when the penalty is there. Garancher scoops it up, and he goes up top shelf again. Kelly the feed. This was an odd angle shot. I mean, just from the side. That's, again, just tremendous. He's able to find the back of it. Central comes back. Rustino finds an opening. Now, we thought that might be the game winner. This one, to tie the game, Cusco bounces it in, go to overtime, and then get that one final goal. This is off the face-off from Esteban. I mean, wins it as clean as you can win one. Scoops it up. Obviously, that was the intention, and then fires.
Ooh.
Unreal game.
Sometimes you don't want your face-off to do that because it can be a little frugal. I mean, they want to go so quick. They want to go and score, but I'm glad they trusted Esteban. Of course, they would trust Esteban. He's been incredible so far in this season and in this game. Let's just take a look at that fourth quarter. I mean, that is a lot of red there. Only 4 goals in the second half for Allentown Central Catholic as the Trojans got it together at that halftime break. I don't know what was said. I'm about to go ask Arezzi that myself when I go down there for interviews, but they really put on a spark.
Yeah, so Central scored those 3 goals in the third. That gave them a 4-goal advantage. I remember talking about how Parkland's going to have limited possessions and then really dominated a great game. This would be fun to see these two teams play again. That's for sure. This was kind of exactly what we expected, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
We expected a very close game, especially after talking to both coaches for sure.
I would have been really disappointed if this wasn't a 1-goal game, but overtime even sweeter. Parkland comes away with the overtime win, remaining undefeated in the EPC. They will be back at it against Northwestern Lehigh on the 18th. That's going to do it for us here tonight. For myself, Doug Heater, and our entire amazing crew getting all the angles here in this overtime thriller. Parkland on top in overtime. Thanks for joining us live here on the Serps Electric Network.